You're listening to the December and January edition of the Sponsorship Experts podcast with Paul Poole, Director of Paul Poole Southeast Asia Co Limited and founder of the Sponsorship Experts. In this episode, we'll be reviewing in depth the past amazing year for the company, covering some details about the very first Phuket Art Fair and announcing the comprehensive partnership marketing programme. There's a quick report on the visit we made to the Mass Participation World Conference, and we'll also be looking forward to the Phuket Yachting Conference in January and much more. So let's get on with it. Okay, Paul, so here we are again for the Sponsorship Experts podcast for December.
And January.
And
it's a little bit like deja vu, Trevor.
Why is that? Would you want to explain?
Didn't we record this last week?
We did.
But you forgot to press record.
It's not exactly technically what happened, but this is indeed the second time that we recorded this exact podcast.
But it's good to see you again so soon.
Well, I'm hoping that this, without any notes, is absolutely perfect and verbatim what you did last week. Because absolutely. Let me tell you, that was the best you've ever been on a podcast.
Don't turn this around.
No pressure. No pressure.
Don't turn this around.
It's always the case that when, the talent, which is what you are, does their best performance, there's a technical problem that wasn't really anybody's fault. It could happen to anybody. And it did happen to me, and I will learn from it.
You will.
Right, let's crack on. What we're going to do in this episode is a bit different than usual. We're going to review a whole year, and people need to know that Paul can't possibly cover this whole year and everything, but we're going to do pretty much the highlights, right?
Yeah. So as you know, we do 10 newsletter stories throughout the year, a joint one in June, July, and a joint one in December, January because of the holidays. And what we've done is we've looked back at all of the newsletter stories throughout 2024, and we've summarized it into this section. So we look back at an extraordinary year and thank all of our clients, sponsors and partners for their continued trust. As the year draws to a close, we look back at some of the amazing events and platforms we've had the pleasure to work with. On the sporting front, we had the pleasure of working together with both old and new partners, including Bangtao Muay Thai and MMA, Supersports 10 Mile Run Thailand and Laguna Phuket Marathon. We're also pleased to have once again seen Electrolyte Beverage sponsor, named title sponsor for the Women's Volleyball Nations League Finals Thailand that happened mid-year, and see MedPoc Hospital sponsor the sponsor Women's Volleyball Nations League Finals Thailand. We're also proud to announce our reappointment by Volleyball World to manage commercial sponsorship and partnership marketing for Volleyball World in Thailand, and we're excited to continue our ongoing work into next year with Volleyball World and specifically the FIVB Women's Volleyball World Championships Thailand.
Right.
And we were at the drawing of the lots yesterday, so actually it's quite nice that we're doing this again because we weren't there last week. Yeah. So we attended the team and I attended yesterday's drawing of the lots, where we saw all 32 teams get picked on who they're playing in the pools next year in that championship.
And there's more details of that on previous episodes of the podcast if anyone's interested in the Volleyball World thing.
Absolutely.
And the FIVB.
Yeah, so we've talked about Volleyball World and all the competitions and tournaments this year.
Yeah,
we
did a good interview with the organizer Finn, Finn. Yeah,
we spoke about volleyball at length with Finn, and he always says the growth area for volleyball is in Asia, and we've seen that with the successes we've had and the successes we're currently having with the World Championships for next year, and there'll be some really great announcements coming up in the new year. Cool. for that championship.
Yeah. So what's next?
So we're also proud to continue our work with the Sports Authority of Thailand as they continue to promote Thailand as a premier sports and sports tourism destination. Our long-term partner in the boating category, Thailand International Boat Show, also put on a great event at the beginning of this year, and we'll do so again at the beginning of 2025.
And we'll be there.
And we'll be doing a special podcast from the boardwalk,
where I will remember to
press record, hopefully,
on all the machines,
on everything. Yeah. So that's coming up. We've spoken an awful lot about the Thailand International Boat Show, but a really great event to start 2025, and I'm sure we'll have great fun and great results at that event.
Yeah, it's been good for how many years now?
Well, in the current under the current ownership and under the current name, this is the third edition. But we've worked on a boat show in Phuket for the last 20 years, every year. So that's always a great way to start.
Was that your first thing in Phuket, in Thailand?
No, it wasn't actually. So the Samura Regatta was our first ever client back in 2004.
Right.
I think for the 2005 edition, and then from the Samura Regatta, we then worked on Phuket Race Week and the then Phuket International Marine Expo. So that was the first boat show. This year, we were also appointed by Royal Bangkok Sports Club, RBSC, and RBSC Polo Club, two of Thailand's most storied and prestigious sports club, to manage their commercial sponsorship and partnership marketing. And again, we've spoken at length about those two clubs in previous episodes.
The thing that amazed me about both of those is the amount of sports.
Yeah, there's a lot of sports. I think over 20 sports at RBSC and over about 10 or 12 sports at RBSC Polo Club. And yeah, very active sports program there.
And also the representation of women and men. The female membership is what?
Yep. So, well, there's 30,000 members as a whole at RBSC and 4,000 members at RBSC Polo Club. And the split is quite equal. I mean, it's 49% women, 51% male. And I think it's around 95% Thai as well. So it's very, very focused on the Thai market and very female focused, which is unusual for that type of club.
Yeah, and in a previous episode, we talk, if anyone's interested, we talk about the history of that institution and go into more depth about the different sports that they're involved in.
Yeah, lots on the website, lots in previous newsletters, and also in previous podcast episodes. So that's great. Marrying entertainment with sport has always been one of our favourite activities, and this year we have had the pleasure of working with Icon Series for the Rainwood Icons of Football, a new event format that will see some of the world's biggest football icons compete against each other in a series of team match play format events, obviously in golf, which has been a real fun activity to be working on.
Absolutely. I mean, I like my football, obviously.
You do.
And some new players have been announced for the teams. This is the format is England versus the rest of the world.
Yep.
And so the British footballers are representing the England team, and they've added Jagielka.
Yep.
And also Teddy Sheringham, who I will always, forever refer to as Ted Shed, because I always have. So if you want to see the other England players, the other legends, I mean, they're also on the website and in previous podcasts. On the international side, though, they've announced some heavy hitters. And I don't mean that in a golf term. I mean just like seriously big names. We've got David Ginola, Ruud Gullit, Vidic, and Gianfranco Zola, who will just look better than everybody because he always has. He's just got that thing. He's good, yeah. So, and someone I'm looking forward to hopefully talking to. If I get to talk to anybody at the event, because we will be podcasting from
We will be at that event on the 28th of Feb to the 2nd of March.
There's a link to all of that again in the newsletter.
Yep, and we should say, the England team is captained by Lee Westwood, and we still have 4 of the 12 players to announce.
Yeah.
And Team World is captained by Sergio Garcia, and we still have 3 more players to join his 12 as well. So more announcements to come on that.
I'm looking forward to that.
No, it would be fantastic.
The course itself is just it's like a fantasy land.
No, it's incredible.
I'm not a golfer, but I just really liked hanging out there because it was just.
Yeah.
Anyway, go to previous episodes and go to the newsletter, and you can see some more pictures there.
Yeah, there's lots. There was a great interview that you did with Thomas. So
that was delightful.
Yeah. So encourage people, if they haven't listened, to listen to those previous podcasts.
Interesting guy. Yeah.
If you want to get in touch with Paul Poole Southeast Asia Co Limited, you can find our website at paulpoole.co.th. You can call us on 02 622 0605 through to 7 or email info@paulpoole.co.th.
On the lifestyle front, we continue our work with Beat Active, Bytech Brewery, Bytech Live and Summer Garden, some of Thailand's most exciting mixed-use developments. We are also excited to present Amazing Asia Festivals, and we spoke about that series that happened in Belgium, again in previous episodes, which showcase some of Asia's rich and diverse cultures. We're also excited, and we're going to talk about this after this section, to see the first ever Phuket Art Fair, which is coming up next year. This year, we also continued to sponsor a series of Asia Sponsorship News, or ASN, reports on various sponsorship topics. In the spring, ASN published the ASN Brands in Football Asia 2024 report, and in the fall, the ASN Brands in Volleyball Asia 2024 report. And we've spoken about our relationship with ASN at length on nearly every episode, so we don't need to go into that. These events and platforms have kept us busy in 2024, and we would like to thank them all for a great year. We would also like to take this opportunity to thank all the participants of our training workshop, Sponsorship Part 1 and Part 2, that once again sold out. And we look forward to a busy 2025. As you mentioned earlier, we can't mention everybody we worked on in 2024, and we are going to be working on a lot more platforms in 2025. So I'd encourage all listeners to look at our website, where all of the platforms, all of the events, and all of our current and previous client sponsors or partners are listed.
Okay. So the next thing that I've got down is it's something new. Tell us about it.
So Phuket Art Fair. So commercial sponsorship and partnership opportunities are now available for Phuket Art Fair in 2025. This event will be taking place in Phuket between the 7th and 9th of November next year. And this is the inaugural fair. So it's the first time this is coming to Phuket. And we will see more than 60 galleries participating with their artists. And this is really a professional exchange platform for galleries, artists, collectors, and art enthusiasts. So a really fantastic 3 or 4 days on Phuket, focused on arts.
I've never been to anything like this. So what does it physically look like?
Okay, well, it's an art exhibition or an art fair. So actually, it's not just an exhibition, because you don't just go and look at the artworks. And the artworks include painting, sculpture, photography, and NFTs. But this is 5,000 square meters of space across a number of different venues in Phuket. So Angsana Convention Exhibition Space, ACES, Banyan Tree Phuket, Dusitani Laguna Phuket, Sai Laguna Phuket, and the Intercontinental Phuket Resort. So it will look like an exhibition. So you go and actually look at all the artworks, but you can buy the artworks. Right. And this event is taking place, as I said, over 3 days in November, 7th, 8th and 9th. But on the 6th, there'll be a VIP preview event. Right. This is really a sales show. So lots of people there to buy artworks.
Right.
And this is quite important for Phuket, because this is a commercial show or a commercial fair. And it's just before the Thailand Art Biennale next year, right, which also happens to take place in Phuket. So lots and lots of arts happening in Phuket.
And what's the profile of the sponsors for that event?
So actually, it's very, very similar to the profile of sponsors and partners of the boat show, the Thai International Boat Show. So anybody targeting an affluent audience and aligning with the values of exclusivity, luxury and lifestyle. So luxury brands, for example, high-end watches, jewelry, and fashion brands often resonate with this aspirational audience. Automotive brands, so premium cars, frequently collaborate, creating synergies between their products and the arts. Financial services, private banks, investment firms and insurance companies targeting high net worth individuals. And also tourism and hospitality, so upscale resorts, airlines and destinations leverage these types of events as well. So, very, very similar profile to the Thailand International Boat Show, which of course is a luxury lifestyle event. So two luxury lifestyle events happening now in Phuket.
Cool. That's great. So we have packages ready for this event now as well, right?
Yes. As usual, we've developed a comprehensive commercial sponsorship and partnership marketing program. We have in Tier 1 title sponsor, also in Tier 1 presenting sponsor. In Tier 2, we have up to 6 official co-sponsors. And in Tier 3, we have up to 10 official suppliers and up to 10 official media partners available for Phuket Art Fair 2025.
Okay, there's nothing more on that one?
No, I think we've covered everything on Phuket Art Fair.
Okay.
If you want to get in touch with Paul Poole Southeast Asia Co Limited, you can find our website at paulpoole.co.th. You can call us on 02 622 0605 through to 7 or email info@paulpoole.co.th.
So we're heading towards the close of the final podcast of the year, or the first one of next year, considering that it covers December and January.
Absolutely.
All right. So any other business?
So we've just returned from Ho Chi Minh City, where we attended Mass Participation World between the 5th and the 7th of December.
So Mass Participation World, was it well attended? Would you consider the participation of the event to be mass?
So I should clarify, Mass Participation World is a conference looking at mass participation sports.
And not just for people who like to do things en masse.
No.
Participationally.
No.
Is that a word? Probably.
I don't know.
It is now.
So yeah, this conference really looks at marathons, triathlons, open water swims. So basically sporting events with lots and lots of participation.
I knew that, of course, because those are things that I am actively passionate about, as anyone who's seen me will know.
And then, of course, early in the new year, we'll be in Phuket for Thailand Yachting Conference on the 8th of January, where I'm speaking on the panel discussion.
Yeah. And you've got an article out as well, I've seen it, in the Southeast Asia Yachting magazine.
Yep, so we ran an article on brand partnerships in SEA Yachting. We also ran the article in Window on Phuket. It will be run during the boat show in the Phuket News and also in the Thailand International Boat Show Guide. So that should be a great panel discussion. And the panel discussions on new ways to create publicity and PR in the yachting industry. However, we will be obviously focusing on sponsorship and brand partnerships in that space. After the yachting conference, we head straight into the Thailand International Boat Show Gala Dinner, also on the 8th of January. And then over to Phuket Yacht Haven for the Thailand International Boat Show from the 9th to the 12th of Jan.
And I'll be there.
You will be there.
Annoying people with a microphone.
You will indeed.
Or making a podcast, one or the other.
Or remembering
Often
to press
both.
record.
Or remembering to press record. Thank you. Okay, so that's it for the end of year one.
It is.
I think I might have to do a blooper reel for this one. Let's see if I do.
Okay.
Given the amount of grief that I've got for not pressing record.
Correct.
Right, okay. So that's it. Next one will be February.
Yes.
Unless there's a special edition for the boat.
So yeah, so we're planning a special podcast for the boat show, and then February will be our regular podcast again, first one of 2025.
And that's going to be quite a different format.
Yes, we're going to be a little selfish in February. We're going to look at ourselves. So usually we look at our clients, occasionally looking at our own products and services, but February will be an episode following the newsletter, looking at all of our products and services, our training workshops, and all the tools we have available. So quite a bumper newsletter story, and it will be a bumper podcast episode as well.
Quite a lot of this will be about how it all works as well.
Yeah.
I mean, for people who are sponsorship curious,
Yep.
I think this is essential listening. And that's the sort of content that can stay around and be evergreen.
Yep.
Because it's not going to be time sensitive. It's not going to be linked to the event.
Our products and services don't really change. Our tools may change occasionally, or may evolve occasionally. But yeah, it'll be a great overview of everything that we do, everything that we have, for listeners to have a greater understanding of what it is we do in our business.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, me too.
All right, well, thank you very much once more, Paul. It's been a good episode, I think, and I remembered to press record.
Thank you, Trevor, and I wish everybody a happy holiday.
Seeking sponsors. Seeking an opportunity to sponsor. Looking to maximise an already sponsored opportunity. Visit paulpoole.co.th, the sponsorship experts.